Hi, this is Bethany Gagne, founder of the Albany Peace Interfaith Project, and today I'm here with Rabbi Nomi Manon, who is the executive director here at UAlbany for Hillel, correct?
That's right.
And Nomi, you and I were talking about having this very rich conversation about how Judaism is both a culture and a faith or a religion. Can you talk about the broader significance of that?
Sure. So Judaism, the way I look at Judaism is as a civilization. So civilizations contain, obviously, part of it will be religion, just for Judaism. Obviously, religion is a big piece, but also there's all the cultural aspects. So there's Jewish food, there's Jewish music, there's Jewish language, or languages if you look historically. There's Jewish modes of dress. There's all sorts of things that are more cultural, in addition to the religious piece. And the thing that makes it especially interesting is that Jews have been for centuries scattered all over the world. So Jewish culture in different places might look different, one from the next, but you might find that Syrian Jews have a particular cultural thing that is influenced by Syrian culture, but is particular to the Jewish community of Syria, which could be different from Italian Jews or American Jews, or so you get, it's sort of all mixed up a little bit, but you get both the cultural aspect and the religious aspect.
Wow. Like, for instance, can you give the example of the person that's coming to work here in UAlbany soon?
Yeah, so we have a young woman from Israel who's coming to work on campus to do a lot of Israel programming, and she's of Ethiopian heritage, so her family and the Ethiopian, there's a large Ethiopian Jewish community in Israel, and so they practice the Jewish religion, and they have a whole series of cultural practices, and to some extent some religious practices that are particular to the Ethiopian Jewish community, which is different, again, from like the American Jewish community. So it'll be very educational for students here, Jewish and non-Jewish students, to learn about her cultural practices and background as an Ethiopian Israeli, and of course also about Israeli culture, but
right.
in general.
It certainly wouldn't be, that's interesting. And how you also, now you offer this program because you were saying how helpful it is for people to kind of get another perspective of Israel than what's on the news.
Yeah, so that's one thing that's really important to us here. We do a lot of Israel programming, educational kind of programming, usually around Israeli culture, not so much around politics and what's happening in the news. But for us, that's important because people, for a lot of people, the only thing that they know about Israel is what they see on the news, which is very limited and sometimes skewed. But you're still only getting a teeny piece of what's going on in the Middle East in general. So we do a lot of programming about Israeli culture so people can learn about, amazing medical innovations that are happening in Israel, or how Israel is on the forefront of LGBT rights in the world, and especially in the Middle East.
Wow.
About, Israeli arts, about technology. Israel's also on the forefront of technology and of farming technology and that stuff we use all the time that we don't even realize was invented in Israel. So just to get people to understand that there's a rich culture and a rich, intellectual invention kind of culture that is in Israel that people don't hear about, because all they hear about is the conflict or negative things. So we're trying to broaden what people know.
Right. And we talked, it kind of came a little bit more clear. We were talking about faith versus culture, the idea that there's Jewish food, but there's no Christian food. You know what I mean? So it was kind of, it takes a little bit for us to kind of get that it's interesting that it's a religion and yet also very much a culture, right? So it's very much an orientation kind of thing. And it's just it's just interesting. And then what else would you want people to know about, that maybe what we don't see on the news, or something that would be?
I think, in terms of Israel specifically, I think just that it's important for all of us, for wherever we're talking about, to realize that whatever we see on the news or social media or, whatever,
Right.
wherever we're getting our information,
Good point.
that it's a tiny sliver of what's going on in the world.
Right, right.
And for, in terms of Israel specifically, that there is, Israel is a country,
Yeah.
and it's a place where there are millions of people from all over the world, and there's
right.
fascinating things going on there. There's amazing peace work being done there where Christians and Jews and Muslims and Druze and all these different groups are coming together to figure out how to live together, how to educate one another, how to have a cultural exchange, because a lot of, as we know, violence and things that come from
Right.
people being ignorant or not knowing about other cultures. So, and then there's high tech, and there's, again, farming, and there's, amazing culinary things going on in Israel. There's beautiful beaches. There's
Right.
a whole
See,
world
I never thought
that,
of beaches with this.
right, that people don't know about,
I know.
and the whole, nightlife and music or whatever. There's,
Right.
and just to I think it's important for me that people know that about Israel, but it's
Right.
also important for me that people take a minute to think about the other places that they don't know about,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
what they may be assuming or hearing little bits of, and forgetting that there's a whole world, a whole
Right.
country or a whole culture that they really don't know anything about, and it's
Right.
good to learn about that in order before you jump to conclusions or think you know about something or whatever, that there's so much more to know.
It's so true, and I've been experiencing that through this interfaith studies, just this broadening of my understanding of appreciation of so many people here in the Capital District like you doing the work you do, and I think it's important that people know, just that kind of mere knowledge can change many probably situations for the better. So
Yeah, absolutely.
yeah. So thank you, Rabbi. Thank you so
You're
much.
welcome.
And if you're interested in reaching out to Nomi, you can reach her out through the Interfaith Center here at Albany,
Yeah.
Albany.
Absolutely.
All right. Thank you so much.
All right.
And